What's up, people of the internet? My name is Dabacap, and today we're going to go over another artifact match from the tournament. This is Savjz versus Bloody. So let's dive right in. Bloody is on the bottom, and he has a really interesting team comp with two snipers. They're both in reserves. So he's got two snipers coming in, then he's got Spin in the first lane, followed by Beastmaster and Bounty Hunter. Up on the top is Savjz with Tidehunter and Ogre Magi in reserves. Then we have Beastmaster, Luna, and then I think that's Centaur Warrunner. So in this first lane, looks like not a whole lot going on. Basically, the only option we have is we could play New Orders to move Sven into Beastmaster, but that's just for 5 damage. It's not that meaningful. You're probably better off saving that. And on Savjz's side, he could play Hellbear Crippler, which would be actually a really great move against Sven, because you want to keep his attack as low as possible. So that's definitely an option. This Hellbear Crippler will reduce attack or defense. I want to say it's attack. So the idea is you just chump block with the Hellbear Crippler, and it's going to shred his attack a little bit. Because you're against this high attack team, you're not going to get 2 hits off of him, because all these heroes are going to kill that Hellbear Crippler in 1 hit. So it kind of makes sense to play it, though he might be trying to hold off for it for another play. I'm not really sure. We'll have to see, I suppose. We've got a track, but it looks like, based on the map in the upper left hand corner, that Centaur Warrunner isn't vulnerable to it. Okay, so in this lane, we could move the Beastmaster with New Orders into Luna, which would put her 1 damage away from lethal, which would be pretty nice. The issue is Luna's going to kill this creep this turn, so there's not going to be any follow-up damage. I'm not really sure if it's going to be that useful, though you could Grazing Shot next turn to kill her off, but that's just 2 cards to kill off 1 hero, so I'm not sure how useful that is. And then, once again, the only play on the other side is the Hellbear Crippler. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just saw no plays. Nah, never mind. We got a New Orders coming through. So that's going to make her super vulnerable. I'm expecting we're probably going to see a Grazing Shot next turn, or next round, rather. All right, so the Hellbear Crippler finally came down. Looks like Savjz wants to get in some tower damage, and yep, there is the Grazing Shot for the finisher. And so I'm wondering at this point, what lanes are people going to fight over? We got 6 gold on Bloody's side. He can't buy. He's got his Cloak of Endless Courage, which he can't afford. So he's going to pass, hold on to his gold. All right. So honestly, he could put Sniper just about anywhere. Lane 1 isn't really an excellent place, just because he's going to drop in front of Beastmaster. Of course, they will trade evenly, it's worth mentioning, but even just any health armor items on Beastmaster, which wouldn't be hard to pull off, will save him from the trade. So I'm not sure if lane 1 is the best choice. Probably lane 2 or lane 3 would be the better choice for Sniper. I think personally I'd probably put him in lane 2, because yeah, I think I'd put him in lane 2, because that'll help us spread out our black mana a little bit. And as for Ogre Magi, once again, Ogre Magi can kind of come in anywhere. Definitely don't want to put him in lane 3 though, because he has a 50-50 of dropping in front of Bounty Hunter. The other 50% chance going to the creep. Honestly, no matter where you put him, there's a chance of him dropping in front of another hero. So I guess your best bet would be mid lane, just because of the 2 creep. It significantly reduces the chances of it dropping in front of Beastmaster. So, yep, that's where it's going. It looks like there's a fight going on in the mid lane for sure. We have Rebel Instigators in Bloody's hand. My guess is he's... Oh, no, he can't play those in lane 3 because he doesn't have any red mana. And then... Okay, no, he opted for the first lane. Okay, so Sniper and Beastmaster are currently set to trade, right? Even though Beastmaster has way more health, it doesn't matter, because Sniper has just enough health to make it to 2 hits. Though just any, like a cloak or armor, anything will help him survive, which is fairly likely. Actually, Kraken Shell would be enough to help him survive. The issue is there aren't really a lot of good plays to make here. You could track. The issue is you're not going to get the kill this turn. Rebel Instigator wouldn't be phenomenal. I mean, it might curve into Beastmaster. It just Rebel Instigator, you want to play in front of creep because it gives you a free Rebel Instigator. Now, and he's deciding instead to invest his mana into Sven, so we can start getting value out of that in the future. So, in this lane, there are no good targets for N1 for me. Relentless Zombie, not a great choice. We might see a compel. The issue is there's nothing really good to compel, so we might just see a pass, I'm wondering. He could compel... yeah, there's not really any good plays. He could try and save one of his creep. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. He's saving one of his creep to get a little bit of extra damage and get a card draw. And what did he draw? Double Edge, I think? And then the Rebel Instigator comes down. So, a pretty uneventful first couple of turns for sure. And then in this third lane, man, it stings having a track, but no good targets for it. He has no way of hitting that Centaur War Runner. Alright, on to the shopping phase. My guess is Savjz is going to look for some sort of... Oh, he's got a Scroll of Town Portal he just picked up. So he might be using that to save... well, I said he might be using that to save the Beastmaster, but I don't know. He's putting Luna in the lane. Maybe he wants to invest in there. Alright, so let's see what's going on. Okay, so... Savjz wants Luna in the first lane. A little bit surprising because he's going to be very vulnerable to Sven, and he doesn't really have any great cards to play there. And he's putting, all right, so he's putting a red. So he's basically spreading out his red heroes. There's a red hero in each lane. My guess is we're going to see Sniper in. Honestly, it could be any lane. Lane 2 would be probably a little bit of an overinvestment. Oh, well, that's what he's opting for anyway. So, apparently he knows something I don't. Alright, so here's the issue. This Sven is getting some crazy cleave off. I wonder if... No, he can't end one for me because there are no items to play. Okay, let's talk about options. So... A potential play for Savjz is to play Red Mist Pillager. You definitely want to play him on the left because if he curves into Sniper, it doesn't do you any good. But if he curves into the Creep, that would do you good. And of course, if he does that, he's going to get Rebel Instigator, which he doesn't know. So what he might want to consider doing is... Nah, he couldn't... I guess the play is to either Red Mist Pillager or Town Portal Scroll off the bat. And then Bloody could play an Instigator, could play an Gloaty Vandal. Honestly, both those plays are okay. Track would probably be the best play, though. Play the track onto the... Oh, that's why Savjz got the Town Portal Scroll. He's using it to counter track. So if Sniper plays track onto the Beastmaster, he just instantly pulls him out. And that burns track and heals up Beastmaster. Because track is the signature card of Bounty Hunter, so he knows there are tracks in the deck. That's actually really smart. Though here I think he'd probably be better off playing the Relentless Zombie on the other side, because first of all, if the zombie had curved into the Sniper, then it wouldn't have helped him, but if it had curved into the melee creep, it would have helped him. Also, these two heroes are due to die this upcoming turn, which means that this Relentless Zombie is just going to show up in front of the Sven and get cleaved down. Whereas if he were to the left side of Sven, he would be safe from Sven. So I think that was actually a little bit of a misplay. We could see a Ventriloquy come down. Maybe... no, because my guess is he's probably just going to Town Portal Scroll the Beastmaster out. Oh no, there it goes. So that's going to... I mean, he was going to die anyway, so it's not a super big deal. No, it doesn't matter because Sven's still going to cleave into the Relentless Zombie. Alright, and there's the health. There's the healing potion. Double Edge. I mean, well, he was going to die anyways. May as well, right? So we didn't see the track come down. A little bit surprised about that, to be honest. I was expecting him to go for the early gold. So Relentless Zombie's gonna die for sure to the cleave. Luna is going to be vulnerable next turn. Honestly, things aren't going super well for Savjz. He keeps getting kind of unlucky with board placement. And the cards that he has just aren't really helping him. He's got N1 for me, but no items are coming down. He's playing double edge again. Aha, he's playing double edge on Spin to take out the Spin with the -8 armor from Luna. Super smart play. Super smart play. And then that's gonna be it, I suspect. All right, so here I think probably the best play would be the Tyler Estate Sensor to start nerfing that mana. Past that though, I'm not really sure if Savjz is going to play anything. Ridman's Pillagers would have to go in front of a creep, which you don't want. There are no good targets for N1 for me. He could Kraken Shell, but there's just no need. He's already got initiative. Yeah, okay. So we just passed. That's not surprising. And then over here, I don't know what's happening because I'm not in control of the camera. Okay, so Bounty Hunter curved into the Hellbear Crippler. He's going to opt to save the Hellbear Crippler by sacrificing a red Mist Pillager. Interesting. I guess he's just trying to make use of his mana. And then, of course, a Gloaty Vandal kills off that Hellbear Crippler. So not the best trade for Savjz at all, but good work on Bloody's part. Then we got 13 gold. We could see a Ring of Trask come down. It's a bit pricey though. It's going to take basically everything he's got. Town Portal Scroll might be better. Alright. So, no heroes coming down. Just some creep. And both sides are so low on cards. No one's got any card draw. However, Savjz has purchased a boatload of items. He's got 2 Town Portal Scrolls. He's basically preparing for the inevitable track. Though we might see a Town Portal Scroll now on Luna, just because Luna is super duper low. We've also got a Thunderstorm. Are there any good targets for Thunderstorm? Mid lane is a little bit crowded. No, he just passes. He's just content to smack into the tower. Okay, so Thunderstorm here would do a lot of damage. It would kill quite a few units. He could end 1 for me to get another item, but that's so... Using an end 1 for me on an item that's just like 3 or 4 gold is a little bit insignificant. He's probably better off waiting for something more meaningful. So the question is... I was going to say, what do you play in front of the Ogre Magi? Do you use the Beastmaster ability to play him in front of Beastmaster, or to play him in front of Ogre Magi, or do you play the Ogre Conscript or the Bronze Legionnaire? Well, probably not the Bronze Legionnaire. It's not really going to do him much good. So, he opts for the Hellbear Crippler under the logic, I assume, that this is going to give him some armor, some attack shred on him. Does the Loyal Beast do attack shred or armor shred? I don't remember. But this is going to be a permanent modification either way on Ogre Magi and take down his stats a tad once they attack, as well as kill him. Sucker Punch wouldn't really help us much. We're still 1 mana short of Thunderstorm. Thanks, of course, to that Tyler Estate. Alright, and there's that first Town Portal Scroll. So he's opting to save him. A little bit surprised by that because... Oh, I see why he wanted to do it. Because he needs to Thunderstorm next turn, right? Because Luna is stuck in lane 1. He can't Town Portal Scroll. It's too late. So he needs to Town Portal Scroll Ogre Magi now so that next turn he can deploy Ogre Magi into this lane and then Thunderstorm. It's his only chance of saving this lane. And this lane is getting big. Oh my god. Bloody's lane has gotten super duper wide, and Tidehunter is not really going to be able to stop it. It sucks to have 2 tracks in hand, but having no good options for it. And Bloody's having 4 heroes come down next lane. That's crazy. That's nuts. See, if he'd been able to do that double track, then that Niktasha's guard would be his. Instead, he goes for Book of the Dead. All right. So now we can talk about deployment. Look at Bloody's deployment. Oh wait, what is he doing? He's putting all four in the left lane, whereas Ogre Magi is going in by himself in the mid lane. Oh my god, that is quite a commitment. So Bloody is thinking, my mid lane's very wide and Tidehunter doesn't do much damage, so that lane is pretty much on lockdown, and the left lane is something he can contest, because honestly he can contest either the first lane or the third lane. I'm almost surprised he doesn't go for the third lane, because there's just the first lane's pretty wide, but that's what he's going for. And Beastmaster's coming in as well. So it looks like what Savjz is trying to do is basically just spread out his mana. He's got a red and blue hero in each lane, and then the third lane looks like it's been essentially abandoned by both players. So this is gonna be a pretty major turn. I think it's very likely we're gonna see a thunderstorm come out right off the bat, just because that's so much damage. It's hard to pass out on that much damage. All right. Now, unfortunately, we can't see all the cards. He could thunderstorm and then Kraken Shell. He could also play his Loyal Beast. He may as well, just because it's off cooldown. And One For Me doesn't really do any good because there are no items on the board. Mercenary Exiles isn't going to do him much good either. We might see tracks come down for see a track come down onto the Luna, but if they see a track onto the Luna, it's very likely he's going to get Town Portal scrolled out. So as for Bloody, I think the decent options are you play Bronze Legionnaire in front of the creep, and then you either develop the Revtail Investment so that can start growing, or you play Smeevil Armsmaster in front of the Beastmaster so that you can start tanking damage, and hopefully the Smeevil Armsmaster will hit the Sven so he can buff his attacks. Let's see what happens. We could see maybe a healing salve on the Luna right off the bat to help keep her alive. Though, if you just play the Thunderstorm, you kind of do, which the issue is if you play Thunderstorm right off the bat, then she's almost guaranteed to die to Sniper's ability on the next turn. So the question is, do you salve her now and then Thunderstorm, or do you Thunderstorm first and then just let her die and then cast your red mana spells? Because you're only going to have one mana left over anyways. So the only thing you can do is just Kraken Shell and cast items and, you know, use your ability. No, he teleports him out. I'm so surprised he doesn't want a Thunderstorm. I guess because Thunderstorm wouldn't have gotten any kills. It would have hurt for sure, but it wouldn't have actually killed anything. So that's a very interesting play. It annihilates the track target already. So you don't want to use Sniper's ability. You want to see what gets played. So I think the play here is either Bronze Legionnaire, basically any two of those three cards in the middle. Bronze Legionnaire plus Smeevil Armsmaster plus Revtail Investments. And while you're at it, you may as well develop Book of the Dead. So he opts for the Bronze Legionnaire, which is a smart play, I think. And then we're probably going to see the Sniper use his hero ability on the Loyal Beast. Get that puppy out of here, because he's going to shred Sniper's attack. So, okay, he goes for the Armsmaster. So that's going to block 5 damage to the tower and give a little bit of a boost to a Beastmaster, which will help him out a lot. And then, gosh, Savjz is just sitting on so much mana. The question is, what do you do with it? Sucker Punch isn't really going to do that much. Primal Roar isn't really going to do that much. I guess you could Mercenary Exile just because you got the mana for it. No, he instead opts to snipe the creep, which is going to open up the lane for the Bounty Hunter. Okay, so there's the Thunderstorm. He decides to cast it on lane 2 instead to help him win that lane. My guess is maybe Savjz is trying to abandon lane 1 because Bloody has severely invested into it. So if he just wins lanes 2 and 3, he's going to be up against basically just one hero, right? Because if Bloody can't find any movement, then all 4 of those heroes in the left lane are just stuck there. And sure, he's going to kick ass in lane 1, but he's probably not going to be able to kick ass faster than Savjz can take down lanes 2 and 3. So he's going to start trying to put on the pressure and start trying to win this lane for sure. And let's see, Primal Roar won't help us. Maybe Mercenary Exile, yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if he spins. Well, he's going to survive anyways. He doesn't have to spin gold if he doesn't want to, actually. And then there's nothing Bloody can cast. So Bloody might have actually gone in a little bit too hard onto this onto this first lane. All right, so Sniper and Luna are in reserves. Luna's coming down right off the bat. My guess is we're going to see Luna in lane 2. No, he goes for lane 1. Interesting. I thought you were abandoning lane 1. That's surprising. So then I suppose he's prepping for an eclipse. It's just, I don't see why he needs to win lane 1. He can just leave it and win lanes 2 and 3. So we got Eclipse, Tower Barrage, Ignite. So Eclipse has the potential, he's got 6 charges. Eclipse has the potential to get quite a few kills. The issue is a lot of these heroes have high health, so there's a good chance they can just kind of get evenly distributed and not really do much. So strong start, weak finish. Now he is out of mana. He's got 2. He can't do anything with it except for play item cards. Then we've got Assassinate, and the issue with the problem with playing Sniper is that if you've got a black hero in lane 1, playing against Sniper, is that if he's got a black hero in lane 1, he can just snipe down lane for the rest of the match. So Ogre Magi's dead before anyone even gets a chance to use him. So that's incredibly effective. Shield of Basilius comes out. We still haven't seen either of these tracks get played. It's kind of surprising, actually. But that's going to give Luna 1 more turn, which is kind of necessary because he just lost 1 blue hero. So if he loses Luna this turn, then he's not going to be able to play any blue cards next turn, which would kind of sting, especially when you got Tower Barrage and Ignite. We definitely got that Ignite as soon as possible, and Tower Barrage can definitely help swing things in his favor. So if things start to turn south for Savjz, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Town Portal Scroll to try and get Luna to safety so that he can do something next turn. Also, it would be really nice to play and 1 for me now that now that some decent items are starting to come out. Maybe, you know, Shield of Basilius or Book of the Dead. I think those might be the best options at the moment. And right now, what is he trying to decide? I think he's trying to decide if he wants to teleport either one of these heroes out. Luna is safe at the moment, so I guess that's not necessary. And then in this lane, God, this tower is super low. 6 health. It's got -2 coming in. And he can't cast any blue spells, so it's just Sucker Punch, which doesn't help him at all. Alright, so mid lane's going down next turn. And then right lane, he's just blinking away, slowly but surely. Just blink, blink, blink. The Imp's like, there's nothing here, man. So he spent his gold to buff that guy up. I guess he's concerned about the clock, right? If he's trying to win, oh, it's because he's pulling out this hero. So since he's pulling it out, he can't have a two attack guy sitting here by himself hitting a tower because he'll never win the lane. So he's going to spend the money to take Centaur Warrunner out so he can do something with him in another lane, which would be kind of necessary considering how pressured lanes 1 and 2 are. And then in 2 turns, looks like the mercenaries will take down lane 3. So Savjz is opting to put the Centaur Warrunner in the first lane, and then Sniper is coming down into lane 2. Definitely makes sense. After all, we have a black hero in lane 1, so putting him in 2 will spread out the black mana a little bit. If you're planning on winning lane 2, it makes sense to invest at least 1 hero there to ensure that you can pull it off. And then lane 1 continues to be a brawl. Oh no, he changed his mind. Looks like we might see action in lane 2. Maybe Savjz is hoping for a major blue spell to get drawn that will help him win the lane, like another Eclipse, another Thunderstorm. I'm not sure if he has any other Thunderstorms in his deck. All 3 tracks are on the board. So, oh God, that's kind of nasty actually. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see one of those tracks come down onto the Luna Tresden standards, probably on Sven, because he gets the greatest buffs out of higher attacks. Stonehall Elite, probably put him to the right if you want to play him, because then he could curve into the Beastmaster and get that kill. As for Savjz, we're probably going to see an Eclipse. An Eclipse will create a pretty significant swing, especially if it kills the Bounty Hunter. Ooh. That was so needed. That was so needed. It's going to keep the Luna alive, clear up the lane for tower damage. And unfortunately, though, Sven's still attacking that tower for 7. That is a boatload. Tresden standards will buff him up a little bit. Unfortunately, the Sven isn't cleaving at anyone. That's kind of the issue with Sven. He's got so much attack and so much cleave. Like, you don't get to use the cleave that much because he's often just killing whatever's in front of him. Stonehall Elite would survive Luna if you put him in front of Luna, but if you do that, there's a chance that he could die next turn to an Eclipse charge. Not Eclipse charge, to her passive charge. Solar Flare, I think it's called. It kind of stings. It really stings having this many tracks in hand. It really does. The Tower Barrage comes out, takes out the Beastmaster. Man, Savjz is kind of up against the wall. This tower is currently 4 health away from dying. And in the next lane, lane 2, that tower is also currently on the way to destruction. And he doesn't have any blue heroes in lane 2, so he can't cast Dimensional Portal to block. He's going to have to either Sucker Punch or Primal Roar or use abilities. I think he can use Tidehunter's ability. Yeah. Ravage to try and stun as many things as possible. But what he needs to stun is that Ogre Conscript. If he doesn't stun that Ogre Conscript, then lane 2 is dead. So the question is, are we going to see a Tresden standard in front of... Yes, in front of Sven? And the answer is yes, we are. That's going to help make him a bit stronger. Kind of unnecessary though, but I guess if you got the mana and you got the card, you may as well. It looks like it stunned every single unit in the game in this lane. So there's nothing he can do except for Town Portal Scroll Sniper out if he wants to. Yeah, not a bad choice, because just he's going to take 4 tower damage, no big deal. But it's going to keep his sniper alive, which is kind of needed. And it's going to buy Savjz 1 more turn in the mid lane. And then, of course, in lane 3, nothing's happening, except that Mercenary Exiles is blinking away at the tower. Alright, so let's talk about deployment. One thing Bloody might actually want to do is play one of the snipers into lane 3. Because if it drops in front of the Mercenary Exile, he could potentially keep that lane alive for 1 more turn. He could put it in lane 2. But the issue is there's a good chance he's going to drop him in front of one of those massive 16 and 18 health heroes, which means he's never going to hit the tower. So he needs some sort of evasion to be able to get tower damage in. So he might be better off going for lane 1, just because lane 1 is has the lowest health units in the way. I kind of like that logic. And then Ogre Magi could go where? Probably lane 2, just because that's where the blue mana is needed. Yeah, he needs that Dimensional Portal, to be honest. Of course, if Bloody had played Sniper in lane 3 and he dropped in front of the Mercenary Exiles, he could have just buffed him with gold, is the thing. Alright, let's see what we can do here. I can't see any of these blue cards. We might see a Primal Roar, actually. That'd be a pretty tempting choice. That's going to move Sven out of the lane. Yep, and it's going to stun Sniper, which is going to disable him from using his ability and make him... well, it's not going to kill him because our Beastmaster only has 4 attack. Do we have any weapons here? Does this curve into him? No. So there's nothing else that can happen in this lane. I feel like you should... Well, you've already lost initiative, so you may as well play the Potion of Knowledge. And everyone's so healthy in lane 2, you should probably play one of those health items as well. Unless you actually want that hero to die. Better late than never. You may as well either better late than never or ignites would be sort of a must right here. You've got 3 blue mana. You may as well spend it on something. Probably see ignite in lane 2 just because there's so many units. That's going to take out the Tyler Estate dude right off the bat. It's going to soften up the others to make them a bit more vulnerable. We might see an additional Primal Roar after that, actually. Primal Roar into Primal Roar into Primal Roars. Wouldn't that be crazy? Primal Roar is real strong, you guys. It's a super strong card. Yep, there's the Ignite. This is going to soften up the units in lane 2. And Sniper is just sitting at 1 health in lane 1. Alright, so we've got tracks, which aren't really going to help Bloody. Same thing with Reptile Investments. The Assassin's Apprentice, if he plays the Assassin's Apprentice to the right of the Ogre Conscript, he could curve it into the Ogre Magi to kill the Ogre Magi. But the thing is, he doesn't really want to curve. He wants to just find 4 damage because things are so low. He could Primal Roar, which would stun the creep and move the Ogre Magi and the Tidehunter. That probably seems like the best option because if either one of those land in lane 3, that's ideal. But if either one of those land in lane 2, that's going to kind of suck. So you could potentially screw yourself over, but if you cast Primal Roar, you're pretty much guaranteed to destroy this tower. Not necessarily, but there's a very good chance. Of course, he doesn't know that Savjz is sitting on a dimensional portal. Meanwhile, Savjz could also Primal Roar, but the tower has so much health, there's not really much of a point to it. So what Savjz is probably going to end up doing is playing Dimensional Portal to block units, and then play Better Late Than Never, just because there's not much else to do with his mana. He could play Rising Anger, I suppose. The question is, where are these units going to land from Primal Roar? If he does Primal Roar, if he plays Primal Roar on Sven. See here, man, this is a sticky situation that Bloody is in, to be honest. Where are they going? All right, so 50-50. They're split evenly. Okay, so this tower is presumably going down, of course. We know that he's sitting on a dimensional portal, but if he plays dimensional portal, we're probably going to see a sniper ability come out to kill one of them, so that they can smack into the tower and finish it off. The issue is Bloody just doesn't have any way to get through that extra 3 points of damage into the tower in lane 1, which is a real problem for him at the moment. All right, so he opts not to do anything. Interesting. So lane 3 is going down, and unfortunately for Savjz now, the Tidehunter is stuck here, so that doesn't help him in the slightest. Now everything's going to boil down to lane 1, where the towers are just at 3 and 9 health. God, this is close, but Bloody's really up against the wall here. There's just, that lane is so insanely wide, and he just doesn't have a lot of cards in hand. Plus Dimensional Portal in Savjz's hand is going to go even wider. So how do you stop this damage? You've got 6 damage coming through. He's got a little bit of flexibility here just because he has more health. Oh, he's got the Primal Roar. So we're probably going to see a Primal Roar come off right off the bat because Primal Roar is just so strong. Alternatively, Dimensional Portal. Actually, I think Dimensional Portal might actually be the better play because it creates a very wide board, and red and black aren't very good at dealing with wide boards. If you're up against blue, then you probably wouldn't want a Dimensional Portal because they could cast some sweeping AoE that wipes the board. But the thing is, what can they do about it? What can red and black do against a board this wide? They just can't do anything. So Tower Barrage makes makes the discrepancy even wider. And see, Tower Barrage, or I'm sorry, Primal Roar, I just don't know if it's going to be enough. Now you just cast a Dimensional Portal and like seal the deal, win the game. I don't think there's anything he can do. Yeah. There's nothing he can do about it. He's got to stop. Oh, he's got to stop 3 damage. Can he stop? No, he's got to stop 4 damage. He's got to block 2 units because there's no unit with 4 or more attack. I don't think he can. because he's only got enough mana for one thing. So we could play Stonehall Elite, which would kill one of them. But it's still at 9, so he's dead. And then he could actually cast another dimensional portal because of multicast. Oh, Ogre Magi. So Ogre Magi's passive gave Savjz 2 copies of the same thing. Ah, I forgot about Book of the Dead. So he does actually have enough damage to block. But, of course, the double dimensional portal is brutal. And Savjz, I believe, is going to win this game. Yes. Interesting twist at the end. So, awesome match. There's Savjz. He's quite satisfied with himself. That was a hard-fought match, to be honest with you. Anyway, so that's the match for today. Thank you so much for joining me.